Please rise for an invocation. Dear Lord, please let us work in your name as we go through the township business and protect with your hand our employees and our citizens. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There's 2 seats here.
Okay, so this meeting before us right now is to for the change from commercial to an R2 medium density residential on a lot, or what is it, 8.63 acres up off of Harmony Fisher. It has an address of 815 Harmony Fisher. That's where it comes down off the hill and touches the road. Do we need to, did people sign in for comment on this one, or are we just going to just for the other
Well,
one?
at this point in time, what I would
Just open.
recommend is we open it up to the property owner
Okay.
who had that request,
Okay.
that the supervisors consider this to explain their plan.
Okay.
Sure.
Sir?
I'll show you this. This is actually your copy of the recorded subdivision that we wrote it on at last year's meeting.
Yes.
Or last month's meeting. But it gives us a point of reference. What we're contemplating is the Lot 2 A1 parcel. My name is Dominic Oliver. I'm representing America First Enterprises. It's our family business based out of Butler, and we're the owners of this parcel, asking that it be rezoned from commercial to residential R2. With the intention to build residential housing units on the parcel. Not being contemplated today. We'll have to, after the result of the rezoning, we'll have to come back. We'll have to fully engineer it based on the rules of the underlying district and come back to you, and there'll be several steps and approvals at that point. So today we're just asking for the rezoning so that we can build housing under the R2 rules. Our reasoning is we're a big part of our business. We're neighborhood builders. We build new communities and homes. As everyone always hears in the news and talks about housing affordability, there's a shortage of housing in America. It was just in the news recently. I think the Department of Community and Economic Development, state of Pennsylvania, said Pennsylvania alone, shortage of 100,000 houses is their latest estimate. Rents and prices are rising in the Pittsburgh metro, and especially and even more so in Beaver County, Franklin Township. And new supply takes time, so to keep housing affordable, we're looking at building some new units in every community, but especially this one here. Everyone, I'm sure, is familiar with the area, but it's in a predominantly residential area surrounded by homes and just outside of Elwood City. This parcel no longer actually abuts directly on 288 and does not have access to 288, so its viability as a commercial property isn't particularly strong. Access to it is through residential areas to get there from the main thoroughfare. That being said, it is close to like the grocery stores and the amenities that homeowners would need, and pretty close to the school and things like that. So it's a great location in an already residential area to add residential units, and we'd like to rezone it to R2 so that we can follow the rules for the residential layout prescribed by the township. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
And generally, at this point, I recommend the supervisors, if they have any questions.
I do, of course. So you're allowed to build as it stands right now as commercial property. Can you explain why you want it to be changed? Because you can build on it now as it stands as commercial, but can you explain to everybody why you want it to be changed?
Sure. Yeah, the underlying the dimensional requirements and the use requirements are slightly different between commercial and residential. R2 obviously designed for more modern medium density residential, which is what we like to build. It allows single family duplexes or townhomes. Our preference is for single family or duplexes, as that's what's stronger and more in demand for the market. The lot dimensions are more in keeping with what's already in the R2 districts that it neighbors. The commercial district, the residential, the dimensional requirements for a residential property and commercial is different. It's kind of just you can build a house anywhere, so it has different larger lots and things that wouldn't be economical and would be more expensive housing. Our goal is to build affordable housing. Affordable not meaning government subsidized or anything like that. That's what a lot of people hear when you say affordable. We mean starter homes and downsize homes. Just a new house is not the $500,000 or $600,000 or $700,000 houses, but what you can bring to market most affordably in the high 280s, 90s to the mid 300s range. So building it under the R2 again, which is what the residential communities around it are zoned according to, it lets you build more efficiently and minimize the infrastructure investment and things like that, and get a few additional and more modern sized units. So that's what we like to do. Again, we'll have to go back and engineer it now, knowing what rules we'll be following under, and to see what's most efficient and fits in the best with the township and the market, of course. But yeah, that's kind of the reasoning. It allows for different setback requirements and to build more of a neighborhood as opposed to a scattered house or two that wouldn't justify the infrastructure investment that you could do in a commercial zone. And commercially, the only thing, like I said, without the access to 288, the viable commercial uses are things like storage units and things like that, which is, not what we're really in the business of building, and frankly, not what the community needs the most. So,
How many homes do you anticipate? I know you don't have your drawings, but I think you had gave us a number the first time around.
Just a rough overview, you can probably do 20 to 30, depending. I mean, townhomes you could fit like 70 or 80 or 90 even, depending. But that's
which are allowed right now, right?
Yes.
Townhomes.
So
okay,
the only economical way to develop it in a commercial district would be to be townhomes. It would be very high density. It's not really what this market wants, quite frankly. So this would be more single family or duplex. So it's probably somewhere in the 15 at the low end to 30 on the high end, depending on how the roads lay out. We got to make sure it fits fire trucks, and that changes kind of the dimensions and the frontages and things you can fit in. And it's obviously not a perfect rectangle. So there's some things there, but our goal would be around 24 to 35. I mean, if it fits under the R2 rules. So.
Okay. Any other questions?
But we'll have to come before you with all that, engineer review it, everything when that time comes. Stormwater, depending how much that takes up of the land,
Right.
Things like that. So.
Any questions, Sam? Okay.
Are you guys good?
Yeah, I'm good.
At this point?
Yep.
So I will turn it over to the public for their comment.
Okay. I will open this to the floor for comment.
You had indicated you could build a more modern house on this. Why would you be able to build a more modern house, whether it's commercial or
a more modern,
or two?
a more modern style neighborhood, meaning different lot dimensions, essentially. Most communities today obviously are built in an R1 or an R2 zoning district, so being in an R2 zoning district would build like other new neighborhoods you see with the they would fit the types of houses people are building today, either 30 or 40 foot wide, things like that. The day of being able to build an affordable house on a half acre lot or an acre lot, you're easily into the $500,000 or $600,000 or $700,000 range if the lots are that size. So the slightly smaller lots, which are what's allowed in the R2 district, allows you to justify the stormwater you have to do now, the sewer runs, the gas, all the utility runs. So it's the biggest constraint is road frontage. The more road you need for a given home, obviously the more expensive the development and thus the houses will be. So does that answer
I guess.
Yeah, not necessarily the it's more the dimensions than the style of home.
Any other questions?
Just one, you said that it was not fronting 288. Where exactly would, like, the main road that the housing plan would come out onto? Would it be Harmony Fisher?
Harmony Fisher.
Okay.
Yep.
Now,
So you have to kind of make that loop and go across the bridge to
right,
get
so
to
do you
288.
like maybe have to have, would you have to redo that intersection or anything from where it would come down onto Harmony Fisher? Because then people could either go to the left and go under the bridge or go
Yeah,
over the bridge.
that's something we'll have to
Is that
engineer and go
okay?
through with the township. I mean, the houses would be served off of, it's called Scenic Hill Boulevard that goes up to the church currently, and then that would go down into, as it does in Harmony Fisher. And the utilities already run along that Scenic Hill, so all the tie-ins would be up above Harmony Fisher.
Sir?
Well, I guess, would you be doing anything with that intersection?
Well, we'd have to work with the township on how to do that, since we don't own that road, but there'd be opportunity
I was gonna
to,
say, if you have any
there-
options to do here.
yes, there's some, I think the slope's pretty severe
Yeah,
there
it
to
is.
get up into it, so, we'd be, there's potential maybe for a standalone house or two in that section, mirroring the neighbors here. But I guess if you can see the plan here, we own.
Feel free to get up if you want
Yeah,
to
we
take a look at it.
this is inclusive of the lot, so there would be room to, widen that intersection if need be, utilizing part of our parcel. You know what I mean? This is Harmony Fisher down here. 288 runs over here, and this is the lane that goes up, and there's a church there currently. So this is where Scenic Hill Boulevard, it's called, ties into Harmony Fisher. So, if we needed to increase the turning radius or whatnot, we could, utilizing part of our parcel, but, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just worried about the traffic that's coming through here already, because from this side here is kind of like a blind corner on that. We already deal with that. I live right here. We deal with enough of that traffic.
Yeah, I mean, again, a commercial use could add even more traffic theoretically. So,
Do you own that scenic, do you own that road?
it's
Scenic Hill?
it's a shared road between us and the church property.
Okay,
So yeah, I mean, it could be moved or adjusted as need be. We'd have that ability, we'd be working with you on what you need. But it's a pretty substantial wide road as it is. I think it was already built to township specifications, I'm guessing. So
Did you ever hear anything from the church that it was there? Like, did they have any say, or did they ever come up to you when you were there saying, "Oh, we have an issue" or anything like that?
no, we share maintenance of it. We've been, they've been, mowing the grass, we've been reversing and things like that. But
Of the churches who sold you the property.
I believe so, yes. Unless we bought it from a church. I don't know if it was like,
Yeah.
if it's splintered.
Well, there was two different
yeah,
congregations
So,
at
yeah,
one
I
point.
think so. So I'm actually not sure if we
Yeah.
bought it from that church or not. But we've, discussed maintenance and things with them. They're very friendly. So
Ryan, I actually have a question for you. Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just going to mention, between the residential and commercial, is it lax on the regulation side when it comes to residential as utilities and stormwater and wastewater and everything?
No,
no.
It's harder on commercial?
it's the equivalent.
You're saying?
And it
Yeah.
depends on the project, actually.
Yeah, for stormwater, we'll have to go through the state for permitting. Either way, it's anything over an acre, and it's the same calculations depending on impervious and whatnot. So
From my perspective, I think the reason the request is being made is it accommodates more single-family or duplex units on smaller land as opposed to what the commercial requires as far as total acreage or half acreage. I think that's the only concern. Yeah. Not concern, but I think that's probably
that's
the
the
predominant
difference.
reason.
Right.
Yeah, so you can put more single-family homes
Right.
in
It'll be
the
spaced
or
out
to
more.
no less.
But compared to the townhomes, which are allowed in the commercial district, they'd be spaced out more.
Yeah, you
Correct.
like when you go to Cranberry and you buy the sheets, and you see that on that hillside, he could do that right now if he wanted to do that here.
So I've got just some concern about the redevelopment period, that it seems like it's slowly starting to take over the area. And their reason for being okay with this redevelopment or this development is that it's bordering Frisco, which is already zoned for that area. But then what happens when someone moves in next door to that and wants to rezone that to R2, and then it just keeps crawling this way. And I've seen the comprehensive plan, and that map takes a lot of farmland out. I would live on Lilyville Road, takes a lot of farmland out there, and they're talking about making that all R2. And I just feel like I can see it just kind of creeping in, and that it concerns me.
So with that comp plan, that's not changing anything?
No, I know
just
it's
a
not,
plan,
but
yeah.
that's somebody's vision
Yeah.
for this area.
And with the comp plan, most people that responded wanted to stay rural. That is the overall feel that we got from the residents. So I want to
You
have,
wanted to ask me a question?
yeah. So my biggest concern with this zoning change was spot zoning.
I don't see that as an issue, given the fact that it neighbors a residential
Mhm.
district. I don't see that as an
Okay.
issue. I've done it in other municipalities.
Yeah, because it'll be contiguous to the
Correct,
two neighborhoods.
And regardless, once we vote and make that change, the only, it seems to be the only way somebody can challenge it is if they have enough money to
File an appeal.
file an appeal. So that is one
To your
thing.
determination,
Yeah.
correct, to the determination of whatever you do, because you're
Mhm.
not making any decisions at this public hearing. You're gonna make the decision later during the regular meeting as to whether to redistrict that particular area, correct? So an interested party who has standing would have to file a land use appeal to the trial court.
What brings in more tax money, residential or commercial?
Depends on what you build. But this is, again, as he was stated, there's now no attachment to 288 with this property.
Right.
So now if you make it commercial, let's say we decide to put 50 or 70 townhomes up there, that's way more traffic. Let's say for some stupid reason Getco decides that's a great place to put a place. Now they have to be on the surface road of Harmony Fisher to get there. And
I'm correct me if I'm wrong, it's true in most municipalities, the majority of your tax revenue is wage tax. correct?
wage tax.
So, people living in your communities, always the most tax effective.
So why is there no entry on the 288 there? Why is that not, they don't own the property?
He does, but he rezoned them.
Well,
There's
That's where the signs are.
the topography is pretty
yeah, and it's this,
extreme.
Yeah.
and he subdivided those two off to keep those commercial.
And you'd be talking maybe a traffic light up to it, which you're not probably going to get. It's actually a pretty steep topographical climb.
Yeah.
288, and it drops down like this, and then it goes back up, and then there's the road, and then this property's on the other side. So, as you can imagine, when you drive by, well, I guess you would see your pizza shop's right across the street, right?
Yeah.
So you can see where that church is.
Yeah.
The majority of this property is at the elevation and way back in there by where the church is. Yeah.
Any other questions?
And what do you envision the cost of these new homes to be?
Like I said, in the low 300s is probably where they would start. Again, the smaller the home you can build, but to get anything new out of the ground these days, you're talking probably at least 300,000 for a single family. So between 300 and 400. I mean, our goal with the demographics of the area, the current housing prices, and who would be targeting, starter homes or downsizers. Our goal would be to keep it in the 300s.
Would it be kind of equivalent to what Clearwater is?
That's the one across.
Yeah. Those are duplexes. Well, some of them are quads, but they're down to building duplexes now.
Yeah. We built homes in Chippewa Township, and duplexes and single family, and the single family, which are larger, they get into the low 400s. But the kind of the ranch product or the 2-story duplex is probably what's better for here. They're the most affordable homes that you can bring onto the market today that are, conventionally sized, modern needs, is all of that.
Right.
So, I mean, it'll be whatever the market is at the time, but that's what we're expecting and seeing.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a reasonable request or not, but it sounds like there's a lot of ifs here. like maybe the price is gonna be here to here, maybe there's gonna be this many units, maybe there's gonna be this many units. So, does it make sense to try to get some more of that nailed down, or isn't that
Well,
even possible?
We'll have
do?
to come back here with any plan we come up with.
But if the plan is like ridiculous, when you come back after it's already changed the zoning and nobody likes it,
Well,
then you're stuck with it.
It couldn't be ridiculous because it has to follow the township's.
Yeah,
R2
it's only
standards.
8.6.
We need to know
acres.
what rules to play by before we
Yeah,
can.
it's only 8.6
Okay,
acres.
but I
He's
thought
not,
you said something like 40 or 50 homes on an 8-acre thing.
No.
That sounds. I thought I heard that.
So that would be townhomes, which are already allowed.
yeah, he could build townhomes in there tomorrow.
Okay.
We're here to get smaller lots that actually build less houses more efficiently than what we would otherwise be forced to do if we wanted to.
I mean, you could do the quick math. The lots will be about quarter to a third acres, give or take, in the R2 you're allowed,
or a duplex
or
lot,
duplex
yeah.
lot. Yeah. So you can do the math into the 8.63. It's not a ton of houses.
It's going to look very similar to the neighborhoods you drive through to get to.
Yeah.
I mean, those are actually probably under older zoning, so you know.
So you're gonna put duplexes on a quarter of an acre? So it'd be like basically eighth acre homes? Is that what I'm following?
I think the R2 requirements are you can put a duplex on 15,000 square feet. It's not a third of an acre.
So they're
Half of
thirds.
it, about
Thirds,
sixth
yeah.
of an acre.
That's most of Frisco's are thirds.
Yeah.
Any other
And again,
questions?
it depends kind of how the road's going to lay out. You know, it's not a perfect rectangle.
I was
You know what I'm saying?
just
So,
trying to.
Whether they're going to be deep or wide or however you get your third acre.
Single versus duplex.
not sure at this point. I mean, it's going to depend on how it.
So it is duplex, it would be 60 house?
No, 60 wouldn't fit. Because you have to count in there's going to be some open space, the roads, the sidewalks, the setbacks, you know. So it, you know, you could do you're kind of doing the math like you're multiplying by 6, you know, but they won't. That would be 48, but 48 would
Yeah,
fit.
and the topography up there is going to dictate where some of that stuff
Yeah,
can
some of
go.
it's going to be a retention pond required to build, you know, utilities and things like that. So.
Any other questions?
There would be a motion to adjourn the public hearing, and then we would go into the regular meeting.
Okay. All right. With no other questions here, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
I make a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
Second.
A motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.